With so much confusion going on in the world, so many voices, you have to go on a journey and isolate yourself in order to know what you really think.
Wait, what?
Hey guys, welcome to another exciting episode of Let's Talk About It. Episode 4. You hear them. I'm always joined by a live studio audience. They're amazing. They're beautiful people. The title of today's episode is Announcing the Denouncing. Now, the moment I came out in this crimson and cream jacket, some of you rolled your eyes, some of you had a negative thought cross their mind, and some of you immediately thought, oh my God, he's a part of the... Here's the thing. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about what does it really mean to denounce, and what does it mean to denounce your affiliation with anything? You know, I've seen all over the internet different men and women from different organizations, but more specifically, you know, Greek organizations, feeling the need to denounce their role, their connection to their fraternities and sororities. And some with great conviction. Now, what I'm not going to do is tell you that they are wrong or they are right. But what we are going to do is talk about how they may have gotten there, why, and hopefully help some people. Today we're going to help somebody. We're going to help somebody really see things in a way that's not so herd-like, but also so that you can be heard. I have a great guest today. This gentleman you'll meet in the next segment. He shares a little bit in what I have experienced, and he has his own personal story. And we want to, for once and for all, really help those who are struggling with what to do if I'm a part of something I don't want to be a part of. What to do if, you know, I want to leave something, or what to do, you know. Keep in mind that we're not here to tell you that your opinions are right or wrong. We're just here to talk. So, got an exciting show, but before I say that, earlier in the month, the great brothers of, or I should say, let me say it better. Earlier in the month, the illustrious gentlemen of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated celebrated our Founders Day. So I want to give a one time to all the men of the Crimson and Cream 1911, specifically to the Alpha Nu chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi. All right. Now, with that being said, we'll be right back. All right. If you think you know what we're going to say, if you think you already know, you don't. Stay tuned, and we'll see you.
Houston, it is your time. Amen, 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 amen.
God bless you. This is Prophet Lovi Elias. Houston, it is your time. March 31st at the Smart Financial Center in Sugar Land. It's going to be a night of the prophetic deliverance, healing, and it's going to be a restoration season for you. Make sure you mark it down. Make sure you're there March 31st at the Smart Financial Center in Sugar Land in Houston, Texas. God bless you.
Okay. And we're back. I missed you. With me today, we're going to have a good conversation. We're going to really try to dive in and hopefully get it all done and taken care of today. And if not, we'll just have to come back for a part 2. But with me today is a former NFL vet, a Forbes 30 under 30, and a tech entrepreneur by the name of Walter Powell. Walter, welcome to the show.
Appreciate you for having
My
me.
brother. Don't show him that. Walter, like myself, happens to be a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. We both have different stories, so let's get right into it. Once again, though, welcome, bro.
Appreciate you for having me.
Just want to ask if you share. Tell the people a little bit about yourself and where you're from, and then how did you get into the frat, or how did that come about? That whole story.
Most definitely. So I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay.
Played in the NFL for 4 years, from 2014 to 18. From there, I ended up starting my tech startup company, political tech startup called Politiscope. Raised a little bit over $1.2 million for the company. Once we launched, made Forbes 30 under 30 in 2020, and just been a serial entrepreneur.
Wow.
And now, I'm in a renewable energy space. So, it's been a blessing.
Yeah.
But how I got into the almighty Kappa Alpha Psi, it's been in my family since my grandfather. So I'm third generation Noop. So it was just it made sense to be a Kappa. If I did anything else, I don't know, I probably wouldn't be here today. So
right.
that's I pledged back in the summer of 2K12.
Okay.
Eta Beta.
Okay.
Murray State.
Okay.
Tail from hell, baby. So it's definitely that was my origin story, just being a noob. But it's always been about just legacy for me and my family, just being part of Kappa Alpha Psi.
All right. Listen, I like that. Since we're talking, I pledged back in 2004, Alpha Nu Chapter, North Carolina, A&T State University. So just with that information, we're gonna go right into a couple things. The reason why I have him on is because we want to talk about all of I'll just say it differently. I've personally been approached by different ones, men who are part of fraternities and women who have joined sororities, asking, "What are your thoughts on denouncing? What are your thoughts on denouncing?" And I didn't think I was going to do this episode this soon, but it just seems like it's the right time. So the videos, I've seen many on the internet, and everyone has their own reason and conviction. Some saying God told them, some saying that it was because of something that they saw, seen, heard, what have you. And that's totally fine. But we're going to talk, and let's see what we can understand, not just from two men who have joined the frat or part of a fraternity, but also we're going to dive into the word a little bit later and go from there. So, Walter, let me ask you this just right off the cuff.
Mm-hmm.
What is your thoughts on the denouncing?
So when you first hit me up about it, I've heard about it here and there, but it never really crossed my mind, just especially being in a fraternity. But once I started doing a little research about it, I was surprised just the experiences people, especially denouncing Kappa Alpha Psi, their experiences they said they had, and I don't know. I don't know if it's true or false, because my experience, it was a great experience. It's always been around brotherhood and service. And, with that being said, like, there's never been any crazy rituals, and just denouncing it, like, my spirit has never led me to saying, get out of Kappa Alpha Psi because it's destroying your life. When my life has been built on Christ. My father, is a preacher. He's instilled nothing but Christ in me first. That is the foundation, and everything else comes second, third, and fourth. So it's like, it definitely was interesting seeing everybody's perspective on denouncing a fraternity or a sorority. So it was, like I said, it's to each his own, but at the end of the day, it's however you're convicted, however your spirit is led to move accordingly. So, but for mine, you know, it's KSI to the day I die. But
Oh, wow.
above all of that, though, it's, you know, is God in everything I do first, you know, so that's how I live.
Yeah, and that's just one of the many chants that are said. But, you know, football teams have chants, you know, companies have chants, you know. I think that one of the things we want to do is open up the true conversation about what does it really mean to be affiliated with something. Is there anything that you're putting ahead or above Christ? Now, have you ever felt pressured, or has anyone talked to you about like you needing to denounce or anything like that?
No, not at all. I've never experienced it before. Like I've said, I've heard of it, but I've never got approached personally about denouncing Kappa Alpha Psi, because just even on my social media, like you see more God content than me talking about my fraternity. I love my fraternity, but of course I love God. You don't love God? What's wrong with you?
No, that's good. That's good.
No, most definitely.
So we know that, and someone said this before we started the show, so we're just gonna go ahead and own it. Someone said, you know, you're gonna get a lot of hate because of this. I mean, the whole point is to see how we can help people be free, you know? So if you're automatically hating me, that means you're bound by something, you know, because all we're doing is trying to expose light to the dark areas. We can't be so safe with our own beliefs that we don't take the light to shine it. So when you said that you've never been approached, so you've never been forced, and you said, you know, to each his own, so why are people doing it then? Like, why?
I mean, oh man, like I was talking to my brother about this the other night. You know, it can definitely go downhill, but to, you know, I feel like it's just all about experience. Like, did you really get made? And I don't want to go down that route, but it's just like, but you know, were you paper? Were your frat brothers? Were you not really welcome in the fraternity? So that's why you're denouncing it, because you thought you were gonna find family in this fraternity, but you found it in God. But that's where you should have found, you know, that's who you should have found first
in the first place,
instead of looking for a fraternity to find validation in who you are. So, yeah.
You know, when you said that, that reminded me. Even in my own days of being in the college campus, the one thing I never changed was who I was in Christ. Now, is it the most popular thing to be known for when you're in college, when the culture is drinking, having sex here and there, and partying all the time? Is it really the most popular thing to be known for as a Christian man or a man of God? Now, no one wants to denounce Christ in college, right? But everybody wants to turn up and party. But they're not denouncing Christ. What they are saying is, not right now, right? But never is anyone telling you or making you feel some kind of way because you chose that other thing. Christ has just always been there. You just not focused on it. But now if you've given yourself to things that are not of God, now what we're not going to say is that there aren't things in your life that you should not denounce. Now, we're not here to talk about that. What we're here to talk about is if you have been finding yourself so caught up, so wrapped up in a thing, in an organization, whether it is a fraternity or a sorority, whether it is a company, whether it is your day-to-day, and you have not given the actual time to have God or Jesus at the center of that, then there are some things you do need to reprioritize. We can't have idols before our Lord and Savior. That's just is what it is. But back to what you were saying, I found that, and I'll just go there since you opened up a little bit also. I found that when I pledged, when I was on, I I never truly felt like I fit in. It was, I oftentimes felt like a little outsider, but that's always been the case.
Yeah.
I have ones that I'm close to, but the majority ones are the ones that kind of always try to make me feel some kind of way. I remember, and my reason for joining is it was less about family, because I'm the youngest of 3 brothers. I play football. I didn't go like to the NFL like you, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? You know, but I had a band of brothers in college football team. And when I pledged, it was not about that part. I knew going into the world there was a certain polish that I wanted to get. There was a certain thing I wanted to achieve. So let me ask you this. When you actually saw the relationships of the men in the fraternity, what did you actually see?
Good question. I mean, what I seen was pretty much brotherhood. That was about it. Brotherhood, accountability.
Tell people what brotherhood is too. So because I know it's a word we throw out there, and it's like a loose word. But what is what's the definition that you would want people to know about brotherhood that you're talking about?
So the definition of brotherhood would be being there for each other, but also holding each other accountable to a certain standard of how you want to be presented to the world. So just with that brotherhood, we walk, we talk, we move a certain way. So within the brotherhood, this is how we move. So just in our brotherhood, just within our fraternity, within our frat, I mean, shoot, we held the standard. You know, me playing football, being the football star, everything I did, you know, every time I scored a touchdown, I get on my knees and thank God, then I throw up the yo.
Yeah.
So that just lets you know my priority right off the bat. I'm not throwing up the yo, then getting on my knees. I'm thanking God first, then, you know, throwing up the yo. And if you don't know what the yo is, that's, you know, our fraternity symbol.
So you were Greek in college, also while playing sports.
Yep.
So what was the duality? Because I can also share in that experience. I was an athlete first, and then I pledged my senior year. And it wasn't a whole lot that changed. Only thing that changed is really the group of people you talk to.
Yeah.
You go from the volleyball team, the basketball players, the baseball, the softball, to now the AKs, the Deltas, and so on and so forth. What was your experience like as an athlete and as Greek?
So as an athlete, I mean, my line brothers, we were all, you know, athletes. So it kind of just
Oh, wow,
worked perfect
really?
for us. Yeah, it was 3 of us. But just we was just the people on our campus, you know, since it was majority white on our campus at Murray State, I mean, pretty much everybody was cool, you know, and within our frat, you know, they was already hanging around the football players anyway, so it was love, you know, so it was just, now I'm a noob, you know, which they knew was, you know, it was gonna happen because I've told them that, you know, my grandfather is a noob, my father's a noob, all 3 of my uncles are noobs, my godparents are noobs, you know, so it was just, it was gonna happen, you know. But for me, I mean, it didn't change my social life because I was already the man, you know. I was already people already knew I was going to the league, so just me being a noob, it was just, hey, Walter noob, that's what's up, you know. So, but people knew I was a firm believer though, because I always be at Bible study, always going to church. I'm just being me. But now, you know, they see me as Walter football player who's also a Kappa.
Question, so you said that you've always been a firm believer. Did that cause people to treat you any different? Did you notice anything, or did you feel like you had an impact or didn't have an impact?
I feel like with me being a believer, I definitely set the tone for guys definitely going to Bible study, or even after they scored a touchdown, start taking a knee and thanking God. So I definitely was making an impact. And I mean, I feel like, you know, people, when I did come around, like, because guys know how I was in college, you know, it was I had fun, but also they knew I was a believer. So, you know, sometimes they'll straighten up, but most of the time, you know, they just being themselves, because I wasn't there to condemn or judge anybody.
Yeah.
You know, I was just being me. So
yeah. So what would you tell someone, a young man or young girl who has aspirations in joining that Greek life, right? with respects to all that's happening in the world, with respects to, you know, people getting caught up in things, because the thing is about fraternities and sororities, it's just shrouded in secrecy.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. It's an exclusive thing.
Yeah.
Which means it's oftentimes going to take attack on it. But what we're seeing is people on the inside deciding to denounce and so on and so forth. And they feel very good about it, which is fine. But what would you say to people that, the young boys and girls that want to experience this for themselves, in light of everything that we're talking about?
I feel like definitely get some mentors, seek advice, ask them, you know, their thoughts on joining a sorority or fraternity. But I just want to hit on the one part where you said secrecy.
Yeah.
Just talking about secrecy. I mean, you just got to think about it. Like if you got a best friend and they tell you a secret, you gonna keep it or you gonna tell the world?
Yeah.
And I feel like everybody got secrets to a certain degree.
That's
so
good.
why are
That's
you
good.
judging a fraternity or a sorority for having secrets? Like everything ain't meant to be understood. Just like with the Bible, it's secrets in the Bible that people don't understand until they get, you know, educated and, you know, get taught by a great prophet on what that is. So it's levels to everything. So you can't have it all. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point. That is a very, very, very good point. Wow. Wow. Drop some fires in the comments. This is amazing. Wow. You know, what I'm happy about is that we've started this conversation. I don't know that we're going to completely have this conversation. I think what we're going to need to do is we're going to have to invite those who feel strongly about denouncing onto the show. Would y'all like that?
I think so.
Would you think that'll be a good thing?
Yeah.
If you think that'll be a good thing in the comments, drop that also. Drop a 1, drop a 2, drop a 3, drop 1, 2, 3 if you think we should do that. Because regardless of what people say, they're going to talk.
Oh yeah.
And what we want them talking about is things that is really going to help move their lives where they're stuck. See, every topic on this show is different.
Yeah.
But there's an underlining theme. The underlining theme is be free, break from a mold in which you think. You know, so I would love to talk to any of those who have denounced. You know, I was watching some videos and I seen it was like a representative of every fraternity. And I mean, they had the scriptures to support it and everything. But like I said, you're not going to hear me say they're wrong. What's most important is to each his own. So, man, would you come back if we do that part 2?
I definitely want to come back and do the part 2 because it's just like me playing in the NFL. You got parents who don't condone violence.
Yeah.
And parents who okay with it. You can grab something from the Bible and say you shouldn't be playing a contact sport.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you can. I'm positive.
You can phone. Yeah.
So it's just like I feel like you could throw that in the same realm, and it's like, are we having conversations around people stepping away from football or combat sports like MMA? Like, no, because it's like
No, you're what you're doing. I don't see it as a loss for words. It's just the fact that so many thoughts are being had and said, and we just want to have the correct conversations. So, Walter, tell the people where they can find you, stay in contact, what you got going on, anything like that.
You can contact me on Instagram. Yeah, follow me on Instagram, SpeedKills9.
That's a dope name.
Appreciate that. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, just hit me up on Instagram, SpeedKills9, and if you want to get in contact with me, you know, shoot me a DM, and I shoot you my email.
All right. Listen, we'll be right back. Just gonna have some final thoughts. Don't worry, the conversation's not over, but we're going to allow ourselves some time to think this through. So we'll see you back in just a minute. Yeah. All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. You know, we just had an interesting conversation with Walter Powell, aka Speed Kills, on Instagram. So go find him there. But the conversation's not over. We just wanted to start this conversation. As you can see, I'm wearing this nice jacket. But what does the jacket mean and represent to me? Maybe not what you think. When I look at this jacket, when I put this jacket on, I'm just very fond of those band of brothers that I did the unthinkable, the thing that most people don't understand, that is Greek life. I'm fond of those times. I'm fond of college. But that doesn't make me at all. I think one thing that need to be or worth underlining is this. Specifically to this chapter, I know to be fact that this chapter or this organization was founded on principles that are Christian only. You know, back in 1911, and as we know, those very, very treacherous times, African Americans were being lynched left and right, killed, and almost for no reason. So when this fraternity was founded, it was founded with those core principles in mind for unity, to gain awareness for protection, but also, most importantly, to remind one another that I see you. I see you. But we all know that all things can be perverted over time. And with that, I want us to read a scripture. I want us to read, let's go to Matthew 6:24.
Matthew 6:24.
Uh-huh.
No one can serve two masters, for you will hate one and love the other. You will be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and be enslaved to money.
Read that one more time for me, please.
Matthew 6:24. No one can serve two masters, for you will hate one and love the other. You will be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and be enslaved to money.
So to all my brothers and sisters who decided that they needed to denounce their organizations, no one's judging you. No one's judging you at all. If anything, what we understand is you should do what causes you to focus on Christ the most. But we also have to be very, very aware that it literally is a to each his own. Let me ask you this, because not everyone was in or has joined a fraternity or sorority, but you've had jobs. You've been in relationships. So what have you done to get that job? What have you done to get in that relationship? The question of whether to denounce or not comes down to what you feel you've done, cross or pass the line in order to gain that affiliation or association. Doesn't matter. Some people, as we know, even in Hollywood, they feel a certain shame and guilt because of what they had to do just to get on screen. But as believers, once again, it's our job to wash people clean of any guilt, shame, or condemnation. You know, we're supposed to be lights of this world combating the darkness. I think it's important that we look at who Christ is, who he's been, and who he always has been as the main reason and the main cause of making all of our decisions. So with that, it is in my earnest desire is to continue the conversations you know, with those who may feel one way or another. And, you know, it is also my desire to help anyone understand how to navigate those things that is challenging you in order to have a relationship with Christ. Because anything that is challenging your relationship with Christ, as the scripture says, is going to contend with you. You cannot serve two masters. Here at Let's Talk About It, we love you. We do have so many more topics to touch on in the year. You know, to support the show, you see the information below. You can go to the website and in order to show your support. You can also, if you want to stay connected with me, you can go to my website. It's jtboard.co. Once again, that is jtboard.co. You should see it below. And please, while you're there, sign up for the newsletter. Got some great and amazing things coming that I want you to stay in touch with me about. And what else is there? I think, well, let me ask you guys. And I'll ask it in a sensitive way. Should we bring back the conversation and go deeper in order to help those that may be in bondage? Yes. Okay. Because as I am wearing this jacket, I'm not bound by the fraternity. I mean, frankly, I'm not attached to anything this world has to offer. My take is this. Though I love the brothers of Kappa Alpha Psi Incorporated, though I love the brothers that even share my last name and those who don't, my brothers and my sisters and my mothers are those who are here to do the will of Christ. And as Jesus spoke that also, let that be our way and our approach to doing things. So we're going to continue the conversation. We'll figure out a way to have a panel on the set, and I think it's going to be good. But speaking of family, I just want to do another shout out. Hey, Mom, hey, Dad, and to your mom and dad and to your relatives. Let them know that it's time to talk, okay? And if it's time to talk, it's time to talk about it, all right? So we'll see you next time, all right? Thank you, episode 4.